Hi, welcome back to C Programming. I'm your Dr. Vasu. I'm sharing all the programs in the Google Drive and you can find the link in the description. You can find for the previous videos also. If you want to learn more about C Programming and many other interesting topics, please do subscribe the channel. If you like this lecture, please hit the like button. Now, let's see a function for factorial. Write a function to calculate the factorial of a given number. Okay. Now here, one important thing is we can declare the function which we are going to use in the main program itself. Earlier we haven't declared, but here we can declare the function, what type of function, what type of variables it is taking, and what it returns. You can just mention this, and this is the function declaration. It will be a clean thing. That means in the main program, if you write this so that it will be clear that you are going to use a function named fact. So here, this is the program. We have taken one variable a and asking the value of a here, assign that value, and it is calling a function named fact. And this is passing on the value of a here to this function, and it calculates. Okay, let us see how it is. The function is written here. It's named fact and taking the value here, which is an integer, and returning an integer variable, right? Integer value is returned to the main function. Now, so here we have taken another two variables. One is fact that is initialized with 1. Okay. Now, this for loop is used to calculate the factorial. It runs for x number of times 1 to x, every time incremented by 1. Now, the fact is equal to fact into n. That means this fact which is initially taken as 1 is multiplied with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, the various values of n starting from 1. So, it is returning the value fact here. Whatever the fact is, that value is returned to the main function. Okay. Now, let's compile this and execute. Asking the number, enter a value, and it calculates the factorial of this number 5 and displays it. Now, use the function many a times. I want to use the function number of times. So here, while it is not returning any, earlier it is returning an integer value, but here it is not returning any value, and this is the function named fact and taking only one variable. This is the declaration. Now, coming to the main function, we are taking three variables here, right, to find out the factorial of these three numbers, right? Three variables are taken here, and we enter a value here for once, and that is assigned to a. Now, coming to the function, we call this after taking this value, function named fact is called for, and this value is passed on. So here is the function for the factorial calculation, and here this is displaying the value of fact, the whatever the value of calculated here, x number of times. This is loop is repeated for loop, and it will be calculating the value fact, and it is passing on. It is finally displaying the value here itself from the function. So it is not returning any value. So return 0, and here it is void. Even in the declaration, function declaration, we have mentioned this void. So this is the function. Now, after this, again we take another value for b, and again we call for the function with the value b. Now, again another one. We call for another value. We take another value and call the function. Any number of times you can call that. This is the main program. And here, let's execute this program now. And here you got it asks once this statement is executed and asks the number. When you enter, it calculates. It calls the function and calculates, and it displays here itself. So nothing is returned. So that's it. It is over. Next, again, this statement is executed. So it asks for the another number, and you give it, calculates the number by calling the function. So like this, you can call the function any number of times. Okay. Now, suppose I want to use the similar type of function here, but this time I am using only one variable. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Let us see how. So it's once it asks a number, we enter a number here and that is assigned to A. It calls the function with the value of A. So suppose you have given 5. This 5 is being passed from this main function to main program to the function, and this factorial is calculated for 5, right? And it is displayed. It is over. Now again, it is asking for another number. We enter this, and this new value also is being assigned to A. Earlier it is 5. Suppose if you have entered 10 now, this value of A now is 10. Earlier value 5 goes off, and now the function called fact is being called with the new value of A, that is 10. So 10 is taken here and calculated, and it displays the result here. And again, you can use the similar type of thing, can be done repeated many a number of times. So here, execute this program, you get, it asks one by one, one after the other. It asks, this statement is executed, number 4 is given, that is taken as A, and called the function with A is equal to 4, and executes this and displays. Again, next, second statement, this statement is executed. Now, when you enter the value 7, this 7 is assigned to A now, like this. So, with even one variable also, we can do that. The similar type of thing can be done. Suppose I don't want to enter any value here from the main function, main program. So what happens? I just call the function 3 times with the variable here. A variable is declared, and this variable is being passed to the calling function. Now, here the function is same, nothing new. We are just calling the function, but the difference is we are taking the value of this A, that is a variable here, it becomes X, and this X value is read from the system here by calling it. So for this X number of times, this loop is repeated, and it will be continuing and displaying the value of a factorial. So when you enter the value here, it calculates and displays the value. Any number of times like this, you can call the function. So that's how the repetition of the function can be done, and also with even single variable we can do that. Okay, in the next video we see the GCD of a function. No, thank you.